Well, you know him as the NFL's Coach of the Year, but did you know Bruce Arians, in support of wife Chris, has championed the cause for kids that need safe and loving homes through the Arians Family Foundation. Now, last year I was fortunate to attend the family's annual charity event. It was there when I found out how court-appointed special advocates can literally save the lives of kids caught up in very desperate situations. Where do these young kids go? And what do they do? This is where the foundation is doing their best to make a huge difference.
I am for the child who has been abused, the child who is afraid to go home,
who thinks it's her fault, who is forced to keep a secret or else.
I am for the child who has been neglected,
the child who does not know where his next meal is coming from,
who must fend for herself and her little sister.
Alone.
These kids need somebody to speak for them.
And with the ascent of Bruce Arians' NFL coaching career came the formation of the Arians Family Foundation.
You know, Bruce was replacing Chuck Pagano, and our lives were just kind of up in the air. So I did help with their fundraisers and such, but I did not actually volunteer there. Then we moved here. And my dear husband, who supported CASA through the years, you know, with their fundraisers and, you know, getting players involved in that kind of stuff, he said to me, you know what? He said, we have a platform now. Let's do a foundation.
Coach Arians calls in his chips from a cachet of relationships with the biggest names at the quarterback position for the foundation's annual charity event, from the likes of Ben Roethlisberger to Andrew Luck and Carson Palmer.
Bruce is the one who gave us the platform. You know, to have a foundation without a figurehead that's visible and recognizable, it's a much bigger struggle. You know, our success is due to Bruce, quite honestly.
But make no mistake, Chris Arians is the one leading the way, helping kids in the most desperate of situations.
CASAs are needed more than ever because so many of the kids are in group homes. There's not enough foster homes to go around. And, you know, group homes may be well run and provide a safe place for these children, but a group home doesn't have a caring adult. So a CASA can be that caring adult in a child's life. You know, children sometimes end up in 6 foster homes in a year, especially the older ones that, you know, they're acting out because their whole life has been uprooted. And every time they move foster homes, a lot of times they have to change schools. So, you know, the kids they have nothing and no support. They may see their families, you know, once a week if they're lucky, probably a supervised visit of some kind. So there's nobody there to speak for those children.
Chris is a great example of how a court-appointed special advocate can change a young person's life. At last year's event, April talked about her impact.
I can honestly say that she's the only person that's never left. She's the reason that I continued to go on and believed in myself and wanted to do more.
Chris is quick to point out the foundation is truly a family commitment.
The kids are all board members, and Jake's the president, Tracy is the secretary, treasurer, and Christy's the vice president. So we're all involved, and it matters to all of us.
Who would have thought over 4 decades ago Bruce Arians would be the NFL's Coach of the Year and Chris would have a dramatic effect on kids in need? They first met back in 9th grade.
Okay, high school.
Okay, high school. All right, high school. All right. What is it, like 9th grade or something like
We
that?
met in 9th grade,
You met
yeah.
in 9th grade. All right. Now here you are, fast forward all these many years later, and you have quite a platform to help kids. And Bruce is the Coach of the Year in the National Football League. Did you ever envision this when you guys met in 9th grade?
No. I didn't even envision it when I got married at 19. No, we were still in college, and, you know, our future was unwritten.
And now the impact of the Arians Family Foundation goes well beyond the game of football. Hey, you can get involved with the Arians Football Foundation, or I should say Family Foundation here, and that event's coming up this coming weekend at Talking Stick. Go to the website, find out how you can donate. If you're interested in becoming a CASA, pursue the information on that website.